Greetings, family and friends. Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to talk about why do men cheat? This topic is a very popular topic amongst a lot of relationships and marriages, and I would just like to shed light on the situation because it just needs to be some kind of resolution to this problem that's occurring in these relationships. And I would like to help anyone that I could possibly help to save their relationship or their marriage. Okay. Every relationship in the beginning starts out intimate, exciting, just thrilling, all of the above. And over time, that relationship tends to hit a dull moment, or so to say. And most men, I won't say all, but most men will still seek that high or that energy that was at the beginning of the relationship, which was more intimate. So they will step outside of that relationship and seek a woman to fulfill that intimacy. And the result will be a failed marriage or a failed relationship due to a man not being able to stay content and stay focused. Okay? Another reason why men might step outside of the relationship is because of when a couple first meet, or you first lay eyes on this woman, you it's something that intrigued you about that individual. You either was intrigued by the mind, or maybe by the appearance, or maybe by the body. Whatever it was, it attracted you to them. Okay? Now once you get acquainted and get into a romance and get into a relationship with this person, you begin to get you get adjusted to this person, and time passes on, maybe years later or whatever, figures change, appearance changes, all sorts of things of that nature tends to change. And that man may seek outside of that relationship, seeking an attraction from someone to spark that fire back inside of him, so to say. And as a result, it could lead to him cheating. Now, another situation that happens in marriages and in relationships is all relationships, they start out, like I said, steamy, romancy, a lot of kissing, a lot of just a lot of engaging in each other. And the sex of all things starts out great. I mean, you can't wait to jump each other's bones. You just can't wait to just hop in the sack and get it going. Okay? Over time, which is normal, over time, this sex drive between each other could be the woman, could be the man. But in this instance, we're talking about men. So if the man's sex drive remains high and the woman's sex drive declines and she just don't feel into it anymore, or not as much as she used to, that man may think that he has to fulfill this sexual urge, this sexual desire. So he will step outside of that relationship or marriage and seek a partner to fulfill this hyperactive sex drive. Now, there is therapy, there is counseling to help cope with this situation. Okay, now moving on along, we will get to affection. Men seek affection and attention all the time. Just be quite honest. Okay? And once they get into a relationship with a female and all of the attention is on them and they just feel like, yeah, this is great, and over time, that desire, that attraction, that affection, and all those things, they seem to subside. They decline. Your attention goes towards something else. Because you feel like this person is there now. You don't have to apply the same energy into this person any longer because you've become accustomed. So most men will still seek that affection and that attention. So they will, in fact, go outside of that relationship or marriage seeking to quench this affection that they desire. And once they meet a new companion to bring that affection back, this will in fact cause that man to cheat or constantly cheat, so to say. And me, by all means, do not uphold cheating or anything outside of what's right as a relationship goes. If you're in a relationship, I believe it should be strictly between you and that person. You should never step outside of that relationship seeking anything that this person should be able to offer to you. It's just my opinion. Okay, now moving on along. Men have this pride, this big ego thing. When we get with a woman, we feel like we are the best thing that happened to this woman. Okay, so things start out great, as I was saying, and over time, you might run into situations where the man wasn't able to perform in the way that he usually performs, or it's just something that shatters his ego to the point where he has to step outside of this relationship to see if he can validate him still being the man, or still being, his pride is still intact. So he will seek this in another woman to justify him feeling this way. And like I say, it's just should be handled better than that. It should be, the man should be more humble and more into their woman, and just not have a big ego, because life is simple. It should be simple. And moving on along to last but not least is being immature in the relationship. The man you might be in a relationship might not have a full developed mentality on being in a long-term relationship, which in fact will cause him to not look at certain situations within the relationship or marriage as important to him, or he might not even respect the fact that he should not go outside of his relationship seeking intercourse or what have you with another woman, because if he's mature in the mind, he will know that this will hurt his companion's feelings and emotions and destroy the relationship. But if he's immature in the mind, he will not have consciousness of this action being a problem. So in fact, he will do all sorts of things that will seem childish, that will seem immature. And in fact, it could be the case if you are with a guy that shows this immatureness in something small. It could be something real little. If you see these signs, these are red flags that this guy may be immature, and if he has this immature capability, he will very well, more than likely, cheat without no regards. Okay? And this is just an epidemic that needs to come to an end, because a lot of good families and just good people get mistreated all of the time, and it's just a shame to have to go through this. Sometimes kids are involved, sometimes loved ones and what have you are involved, and a lot of people get hurt in these situations. So I encourage any female who is in a relationship with a guy that has any of these tendencies to focus on trying to correct them, trying to help them correct them. If you're not in a relationship, I advise you that if you do decide to get in a relationship, to get to know the guy in and out, if you can. Get to learn his qualities, study him, talk about all of these things, and maybe that will shed some light on if this is the right person that you should consider being in a long-term relationship with. Okay? I'm manifesting. This is my vision. May God bless you. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Manifest, 2 S's, visions with the S at the end. Thank you.